All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a huge shift that's happening right now, the move from just using AI to actually building with it. We're going to look at the exact toolkit you need to get a business off the ground and see why your biggest ideas are honestly closer than you think. So let me just start with a quick question. In the last week, how many of you have used something like ChatGPT? I'm betting pretty much everyone, right? Okay, now, how many of you have actually built your own AI agent? You see that gap? That space between using and building? That's exactly what we're digging into today. And what an opportunity that is. I mean, look at this number. That's 500 million weekly active users on ChatGPT. The audience is absolutely massive. But the number of people building on top of it, it's just a tiny, tiny fraction. And that disconnect right there is probably the single biggest entrepreneurial opportunity of the next year. So here's the game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the AI builder opportunity. Then, your new superpower, which might not be what you think. We'll go through a full AI business toolkit, we'll touch on how to build and share what you make, and finally, we'll wrap up with how AI is your great accelerator. Sound good? Let's jump in. Okay, first up, the AI builder opportunity. The old rulebook for starting a company is basically being ripped to shreds, and it's creating a whole new playing field for everyone. You know those traditional specialized job titles we're all so used to? Designer, developer, marketer? Well, they're kind of fading away. Companies aren't just looking for someone who can do one thing anymore. They want people who can think across all of these areas. And AI is the engine making it all possible, creating this new kind of creator who can build, design, and market an idea, pretty much all by themselves. So if you don't need to be a super specialized coder for every single role, what is the most critical skill in this new world? Well, it's probably not what you'd guess. It's actually something much more human, much more fundamental. Just check out what the co-founder of Notion says. They hire developers who can also design and designers who get the business side of things. I mean, this isn't some far-off future trend. It's happening right now at the biggest companies. They're looking for product-first people who can see the whole picture, not just their little piece of it. And the founder of Replit puts it even more bluntly. He says clear communication is becoming more important than knowing how to code. Think about that. Your most valuable skill, your new superpower, is just the ability to clearly and precisely describe your vision to an AI. Okay, so that's the why. Let's get really practical and pivot to the how. We're going to walk through a set of AI tools that can literally automate every major part of launching a new business. You can really boil down building a business into these 5 pillars: research, build, sales, content, and marketing. And for every single one of these, there's a powerful AI tool that's ready to do all the heavy lifting for you. Let's break them down. First up, research. Forget spending days lost in Google searches. An AI agent like Mattis can literally validate your idea in minutes. It just goes out and scans hundreds of websites, does market analysis, finds leads, pulls financial data. It automates what used to be the most boring, tedious part of getting started. Next, actually building the product. This is where it gets wild. A tool like Replit lets you build a working app just by describing it in plain English. It handles the interface, the logic, the database, all of it. And if you think that sounds like science fiction, get this. Magic School, a tool for teachers, is now basically a unicorn. And it was built by a 50-year-old school principal who had zero coding experience. Zero. Now let's talk sales. This is a powerful one-two punch. First, you use a tool called Apollo.io to create these super targeted lead lists. You can filter by industry, company size, recent funding, you name it. Then, you take that perfect list and plug it into Instantly.ai, which automates the entire cold email process. You could literally be closing deals from around the world while you sleep. Okay, next up, content. For a founder, scaling yourself can be the absolute hardest part. But with HeyGen, you can create a realistic AI avatar from just a short video clip of yourself. You pair that with 11 Labs, which can clone your voice, and suddenly you can create an infinite amount of high-quality video content without ever having to step in front of a camera again. And finally, marketing. Forget about hiring a designer or a photographer for your first ad campaign. With AI image generators, you just upload a photo of your product, describe the kind of ad you want, like a clean, minimalist shot in a sunny studio, and boom, it generates professional-grade visuals for you instantly. So you've got the new mindset and you have the toolkit. What's actually possible? Well, the scale of what a single person can build now it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Just take a look at this number, $30 million. What do you think this represents? Some huge venture-backed company with hundreds of employees? Not even close. That's the annual revenue of Cal.ai, a super simple calorie tracking app that shot to #1 on the app stores. And it was built by a 17-year-old. Let that sink in. That is the new reality of a one-person, AI-powered business. But here's the thing. Building an amazing product is only half the fight. How do you actually get users? There's this incredible strategy that goes perfectly with this new speed of building, and it's called building in public. It just means you share your entire journey, the wins, the losses, the lessons, out in the open on social media. And the benefits of doing this are just huge. You get free advice from experts who want to help. You attract your very first users who feel like they're part of your story. You get noticed by investors, and most importantly, you build a real community around what you're doing. It's like a free built-in marketing channel. All right, this brings us to our final and maybe most important point. How should we really be thinking about AI and its role in our work, in our ambitions? Let's be really clear about this. AI is not here to take your job. If you have expertise in something, if you're a great designer, a sharp marketer, a smart business person, AI is your ultimate force multiplier. It just accelerates your ability to execute your ideas at a speed that was honestly unimaginable just a few years ago. And so that leaves us with one last question. You already have unique expertise from your career, your hobbies, your life. We've just walked through the exact tools that can turn that expertise into a real product. So the only real question left to ask is, what are you going to build first?